Hello everyone. What's up? Welcome to GMA 24 Update News channel. Hope you will enjoy our news video. Before we begins, hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Here is the news title. Richard Madeley says, "Let's not go there." As GMB chat leaves him blushing. Good Morning Britain presenter Richard Madeley was left red-faced on Wednesday. Richard Madeley found himself blushing during Wednesday's episode of Good Morning Britain. The 68-year-old presenter and his colleague Susanna Reid were delighted to interview music icon Bonnie Tyler on the program. As the chat got underway, Richard pointed out that she had been married to husband Robert Sullivan for more than 50 years, asking her what is the secret. Bonnie, 73, was happy to share that they are still going strong after nearly 52 years because we travel together. He travels with me, thank God. The Total Eclipse of the Heart hitmaker recalled how she wasn't enjoying touring without her husband in the 80s, so suggested to him she could accept a residency somewhere. However, Robert insisted she continue her tour, and he instead started traveling with her, reports the Manchester Evening News. Richard asked in response, "So it's more time together rather than less time together?" Leading to Bonnie's playful quip, "More time together and he's not bad to look at like you." At this comment, the studio burst into laughter, but a red-faced Richard wasn't amused as he said, No, let's not go there." The camera then panned onto his face as he insisted, "Go on. No, move on. Come on, stop that." Bonnie couldn't help but notice, teasing, "He's blushing," while Susanna chimed in with an entertained, "He is." And Richard attempted to fend off the banter with a flustered "Stop it." With the teasing continuing, Susanna quipped, "We're rather enjoying this moment, Richard," to which he admitted, "I'm going to let this moment pass." Continuing the interview, Bonnie said that her husband Robert still goes training every other night as he used to be a judo Olympian champion. This prompted Susanna to joke, "Will he mind that you've just told Richard Madeley how handsome he is?" As Bonnie quipped, "No, he's not the jealous type." To which Richard joked, "Thank God, because if he's a black belt, I'm in trouble." The interview then went over to Andy Peters's competition segment, to which he teased, "Thank you, lovely Susanna." "And thank you, beautiful Richard." To which Richard retorted, "Dear Starmer was brutally mocked after it was claimed that he hired an acting coach to help him overcome his aversion to being wooden. The revelation came in a new book, titled Get It by Patrick Maguire and Gabriel Pogrund, which gives readers a definitive behind-the-scenes account of Labour's return to power under Mr. Starmer. The book also compares the politician to an HR manager, rather than a true leader, a comparison that has fueled further criticism and ridicule. During a discussion on GB News, presenters Nick Dixon, Leo Kearse, and Lewis Schaffer couldn't contain their amusement upon hearing about Starmer's supposed efforts to refine his public speaking abilities. Dixon quipped, "Maybe he never actually started the lessons," eliciting laughter from his co-hosts. Kearse quickly followed up with another brutal remark, "I think he wants his money back on that." Dixon, still reveling in the humor of the situation, added, "Maybe he was sick that day and missed the most important lesson." The discussion took a broader turn as Schaffer chimed in, asserting that public speaking is a widely recognized fear for many people. Honestly, most people's number one fear is speaking in front of an audience. Even Donald Trump, love him or hate him, has likely had some form of coaching to improve his delivery. Issuing another scathing critique of the Prime Minister, Dixon boldly claimed, "I could literally get up right now with no notes, no preparation, and absolutely no knowledge of the subject, and still deliver a better speech than Starmer." Referencing Starmer's infamous sausage blunder, where he awkwardly mentioned sausages during a speech, Kearse smirked. "And you wouldn't mention sausages once. That alone would give you the upper hand." Dixon, slipping into mockery, mimicked what he imagined to be a typical Starmer speech. "Far-right thuggery. Go to jail if you're British," he declared dramatically, drawing another round of laughter from the panel. "It's just so bad," he continued, No matter how much he tries, he's still so bad. The conversation then turned to voice coaching as an effective tool for political figures. Dixon brought up former Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher as an example. Her voice changed over time. It got warmer, more authoritative. You can improve a lot with proper training, but Starmer is yet to show any improvement. Kearse agreed, adding, and Thatcher's example proves that even a wooden, or in her case an iron delivery, can actually be a strength. She was called the Iron Lady for a reason. She wasn't going around shaking hands and trying to be everyone's best friend like Tony Blair. She was firm, she was resolute, and her delivery reflected that. That's what made her a strong leader. The discussion took a darker historical turn when Schaffer revealed that even Adolf Hitler had speech lessons. All his speeches were great, until the very end, obviously, he remarked, a comment that stirred an uncomfortable chuckle from the panel. As the conversation wrapped up, it was clear that the panelists saw Starmer's reported acting lessons as yet another failed attempt at making himself more charismatic. Whether or not the lessons will eventually pay off remains to be seen, but for now, his critics continue to have a field day at his expense, so what do you guys think about this update? Let me know in the comment below. If you like my video, please press like button and subscribe for more. Hope I'll See You presenter Richard Madeley was left red-faced on Wednesday during a light-hearted moment on the show. The 68-year-old presenter and his co-host, Susanna Reid, were thrilled to welcome music icon Bonnie Tyler onto the program for an interview filled with nostalgia, humor, and a bit of unexpected banter. As the interview commenced, Richard couldn't help but admire Bonnie's long-standing marriage. You and your husband, Robert Sullivan, have been together for over 50 years now. That's incredible. What's the secret to such a long and happy marriage? He asked, clearly intrigued. Bonnie, 73, smiled warmly and leaned forward as she replied, "Oh, it's simple, really. We travel together. He travels with me, thank God. I hated being on tour without him back in the 80s, so I told him maybe I should just settle down and take up a residency somewhere. But he wouldn't have it. He told me to keep touring, and he decided to travel with me instead." Richard nodded thoughtfully, impressed by their commitment. "So it's more time together rather than less time together that keeps the love alive?" he asked, thinking he had cracked the secret to long-lasting relationships. Bonnie grinned, mischievously, and added with a playful wink, "More time together, and it helps that he's not bad to look at." "Kinda like you, Richard." The studio immediately erupted in laughter. Susanna leaned back, covering her mouth as she chuckled, while crew members could be heard snickering off camera. But it was Richard's reaction that stole the moment. His face turned a deep shade of red as he awkwardly fumbled for a response. "Oh no, no, no. Let's not go there," he exclaimed, waving his hands in mock protest. The camera quickly zoomed in on his flustered expression, capturing every second of his embarrassment. Bonnie wasn't about to let it go. "Oh, come on now, Richard. A compliment never hurt anyone," she teased. Susanna, thoroughly enjoying the moment, leaned in gleefully. "Oh, look at him. He's blushing. Richard, I don't think I've ever seen you this red before." Richard let out a nervous chuckle, adjusting his tie in an attempt to regain his composure. "Stop it. Stop it now," he pleaded. Move on. Next question, quickly." But Bonnie wasn't finished having fun. "I think it's adorable. You must get that all the time, don't you?" she continued playfully. Richard shook his head vigorously. No, I don't. Not at all. And even if I did, I certainly wouldn't acknowledge it on live television." Susanna laughed even harder. "Oh, we are absolutely enjoying this moment, Richard. Let's just bask in it for a while." Richard rolled his eyes dramatically. "I'm going to let this moment pass, just like that. Gone." He made a sweeping motion with his hand, but his lingering blush gave away his discomfort. Bonnie, ever the entertainer, turned the conversation back to her husband. "You know, Robert still trains every other night. He used to be a judo Olympian. Champion." Susanna gasped in admiration. "Wow, that's impressive. I bet he's still incredibly strong. Oh, he is, Bonnie confirmed. That's why he's never been the jealous type. He knows he could take on anyone if he had to. Susanna smirked and turned back to Richard. Uh-oh, Richard. You might be in trouble now. Richard feigned a look of worry. Oh dear. If he's a black belt, I really need to watch what I say. Maybe I should start working out, just in case. The laughter continued to ripple through the studio, with Bonnie thoroughly enjoying the light-hearted teasing. Don't worry, Richard. You're safe. For now, she joked. Just when Richard thought the conversation had finally moved on, Andy Peters chimed in from his competition segment, grinning mischievously. Thank you, lovely Susanna, and thank you, beautiful Richard. Richard threw his hands up in exasperation. Oh, come on. Do your job, Andy. The entire studio erupted into another round of laughter as the segment came to a close. It was a moment that perfectly captured the unpredictable, fun, and sometimes embarrassing magic of live television, proving once again why Good Morning Britain remains a favorite among viewers. As Richard tried to recover from his unexpected moment in the spotlight, Susanna and Bonnie were more than happy to revel in his good-natured discomfort. And with that, another unforgettable morning on Good Morning Britain was in the books.